next time, hopefully we can get out of our heads inside of the tank.
I don't know. I'm super excited to see how things go. I just want to really be able to like try this new spiritual experience and tap into maybe like a new level.
People don't do this enough.
Stop this.
I wish I had more to say. I wish I was more natural and speaking. Maybe I will achieve that after this experience.
We're almost there, ladies and gents.
I got to say, love is history. On another record from the sea. A mystery. If you don't believe, slipping on a coin.
Alright, so you're both going to come in here. So this light is motion activated. So if you hang anything here, just don't block the light receptacle. Because then you want to make sure you can take a shower with the lights on rather than in the dark, okay? Have you used earplugs before?
Yes.
Okay. Make sure you put these in before you get in your shower, because if you don't, it's more difficult to put them in after you take a shower. Okay? And then if you have cuts or scrapes anywhere, you're going to want to use a protectant on it. The salt water doesn't hurt your cut, but it can be a distraction while you're floating, so make sure you do that if you do have cuts or scrapes anywhere.
Sweet. And I was told maybe to avoid getting it in the eyes.
Yeah, so I'm going to go over all of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
there's 1,200 pounds of Epsom salt in each tank, so you don't want to get it in your eye.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Okay, so earplugs in, hop in your shower, take a regular shower. Just don't put that conditioner into your hair before you get in the float tank, because if you don't rinse it out all the way, it can get in the filters. And then when we clean the filters out, it's kind of like a little waxy buildup, so it's a little more difficult. Okay, so you guys can come on and step over here because I'm going to show you a couple things about the tank. So it opens very easily. It's literally just one finger.
Oh wow.
After you guys float, you can come in this room and chill and chit chat. This might be a little space for you guys to.
Oh yeah. This is in like 60 frames per second and it looks super weird. Okay. So, how are you feeling?
Refreshed.
Really?
Yeah.
Like around just before 12:30, I had to get out because I got motion sickness
Really?
in there. Yeah.
Interesting.
And but up until that point, it was pretty good. Like I felt extremely relaxed. Like, there were points when I felt like I could feel like my body vibrating, you know, which was really nice.
That's cool.
But it was really hard for me to just like stop thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying really hard to do that, and I think that's part of the problem. But like, it's been a long time since I've been able to really like empty my brain of thought for like longer than 10 minutes. Like, I can meditate, but 10 minutes is usually like my cutoff, which is crazy. So it was a lot of like in and out for me. Like I would get there, and then I would be like, oh, and then I can like slowly feel like my body kind of waking up, even though I was awake. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like,
Right.
no, it's not time. Like, don't do
There were
it.
times that like when I was in, like, there would just be like songs stuck in my head.
Oh my gosh, that kept happening to me too.
What was stuck in your head?
Frank Ocean, Self-Control.
Oh, that's such a good song. A song from the band that Steve and I are in came up just a melody. Like, one colored days warmed by the sun, the red velvet nights, da 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 da. Like that kept being stuck in my head, and then after that, Just Give Me a Reason by
Oh no,
Pink
that's
and
the
Fun.
worst one.
It really.
It's not a bad song, it's just not great to have stuck in your head, I feel like.
Well, it really wasn't stuck too long. I kind of just like decided that like I can't. I love all music, so like I just like listened to it, and eventually I wasn't like listening. I wasn't hearing it anymore, and I was hearing like my own like creation of music, which is pretty common for me. Like when I guess when I'm meditating, because I've never really tried meditating, but you meditate without realizing it.
Oh, for sure.
I think.
Yes.
And I think that like that was something I was noticing in there. So like I can't really remember what was happening, and I was just trying. Part of me was like, you have to remember this when you get out. But then another part of me was like, no, maybe you just need to hear this right now and like move on from it, which is where I'm at now.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I was thinking about, it's funny that you like were creating music, because in my brain it was like very similar, but like art.
Oh, seriously?
You know what I mean?
I wanted that.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I don't really, I have a hard time visualizing things. Like, I don't know, you can tell me to like visualize a picture and I can't see it, you know? And
Yeah.
people can do that. Like,
Yeah.
I can't do that. But a lot of the feeling was still like inspiring me to like do things, which I don't remember what they were because I had like kind of a similar experience where I was like, oh, now I have to make art. And I was like, you know, no, you don't. You can just think about it, and if it ever comes back to you and you want to make something, then sure. But otherwise, just let it happen.
I remember seeing, there's a picture up there that's like, okay, I felt like I saw something like this, like one of the only visualizations that I had. Where is it? Oh, okay, so it's very dark. Yeah. Okay, so this. I felt like I was looking up from inside of the Grand Canyon at times into a dark night sky, and like I could like see, so like around the edges of the circle of the opening, what were like the dark mountains, the black mountains or whatever, and then just like light would just like shoot up them.
I definitely was seeing more like abstract things. I guess I remember seeing, which, sorry, like there's a lot of thought going in my head about
It's
it.
okay.
I guess I remember seeing like what I would consider my visualization of like energies on like different levels and like kind of like stacked like different frequencies in
That's
that
really
way.
cool.
Well, that's how I think about like, I don't know, spirituality to me is that it's like my study of like those energies, those different energies, and it's like you're on a certain level, your guides are on a certain level, peace or God essentially
Right.
is on a certain level, and it's like there are hundreds and hundreds of levels in between that, but there's a lot of like layering visuals for me.
Wow. I kept thinking about other people while I was in there, trying to think about what they would be thinking if they were in this situation.
Yes, I did that too, and I did a lot of like explaining of what I was like trying, like telling myself what I would tell somebody else about this experience.
Oh, really?
I would catch myself being like, well, it feels like this, and I'd be like, well, stop, like, you're in the moment right now.
Yeah.
Start thinking about how you're gonna tell people. That was kind of the experience that I had. I've tried to do a couple of different things that I know that you can do when you get into like a meditative practice, but it just was really difficult. But like one of the things is like a body scan, you know, if that makes sense.
Like just like thinking about every part of your body and what it feels like
Yeah.
individually, like the parts individually.
Yeah, you know, you can start from your head or from your toes, doesn't matter. But I would like start doing that and I'd get to a certain point, which this is super common, but like the whole point is to just kind of like have self-control and bring yourself back to the body eventually. But I would get to a certain part and I would just try really hard to focus on feeling that, and then I just couldn't.
And then your thoughts would go somewhere else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I tried like a sort of mantra style, like just like saying the same thing over and over again. Because what I'll do first is like kind of like a mantra style, but instead of like listening to myself like a thought, I'll listen to my breath, which is the only thing you can hear in there, you know.
Yeah.
But I was having trouble doing that. Then I tried to do a mantra, and that worked pretty well for a while. I definitely was doing too much, thinking too much. Language, right, is super important, and when you get in situations like this, you just have no choice but to hear yourself and how you talk to yourself. And that's just interesting because you don't think about it, you know? You're always talking to yourself and you don't think about it. And like, it's been coming up just pretty frequently recently that there are certain things that like I don't really super enjoy about other people, like about how they talk and how they like treat other people, even if they're not being rude or like just like being sarcastic or being like, I don't know, like mocking and all of that stuff. And like I don't think that it affects me maybe as much as it could affect another person, but like I think when you do that you can start like thought loops in other people, you know.
Thought loops in other people?
Yeah, so like if I were to joke with you and like mock something that you said, and then like you were to continue to think about that for a really long time, like, and you keep coming back to that experience because it created like a thought loop for you where you can't stop thinking about how you did this thing, and when in the moment you weren't insecure about it because it was funny, but now that you've been thinking about it so much, like,
is something wrong with that? When it didn't have to be.
Exactly.
I've never heard them be called thought loops.
I totally just made that up.
Well, it fits perfectly.
Yeah.
I like it. I like giving it a name.
And it can really like just shape who you are. I mean, that's how like habitual things start to happen, right? Like you continue to tell yourself over and over again, this person thinks this about me, which means this is true about me, and now this is how I think about me. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I've been consciously trying to cut those out too, but I didn't think about them like loops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mostly just trying to consciously change my thinking to more of listening. I feel like I would love to do this again.
Me too.
It was good. It was very reflective.
I agree. I definitely agree.
Maybe some of the music that I was hearing, maybe some of the art that you were seeing was foreshadowing.
I hope so.
So do I.
Because I can't remember